Welcome to Mindful Life. I'm Jill Higgins. When people come to my classes, I'm often asked, what should I wear and do I need any special equipment to get started with my meditation practice? So in this episode, I'm going to look at the where, when, and the how long. In essence, all you ever really need is your body and your breath. You can meditate in your pajamas or your suit. In fact, any outfit will do. There's no need to wear special clothes, to light candles, to sit on the floor, or invest in a new meditation cushion. One of the beauties of mindfulness is its flexibility. You can practice anywhere, just as you are, at home or at work. And most of the time, those around you won't even know that you're meditating if you simply lower your gaze. I keep a small meditation stool in my office at home, which reminds me that all I need to do is to sit on it at some point during the day, and the rest will come naturally. Generally, the longer I sit, the longer I want to sit, as it feels like a welcome break. And with practice, you even start to notice when you are not mindful. So it acts as a gentle reminder to step out of our automatic pilot mode for at least part of the day to experience what's actually going on inside and around you. The other question I'm often asked is the where and when to meditate. The one thing I'd say when deciding where is that it's helpful to use the same space every time if you can. This really supports the building of your practice. So try to find a place where you're not going to be disturbed, even if it's just for a few minutes. Might be the bedroom, the office, the spare room, the garden shed, or even the car at the start or end of a journey. You might find that you can meditate on the bus or the train into work, even if the circumstances aren't perfect. If background noises arise, then practice letting them go in the same way that you'd let go of thoughts or sensations. Many people find it useful to meditate at the start of the day when they feel alert and rested. Others prefer to practice before going to bed. But ultimately, it's about getting into a routine and finding a time that works for you. There's no right way or only way to meditate. Whenever I stop meditating for any length of time, I notice that I have less patience, feel less generous towards others and myself, and that I'm often more easily irritated. And I think it's these shifts that remind me of the benefits of continuing to practice. When it comes to how long you should meditate for, I think the best advice is to take it in small steps. At the beginning, it can be a real challenge to find the time. See if you can meditate for just a few minutes every day. You could do this by listening to one of the short guided meditations, or start by trying one or two of the daily mindfulness practices in this podcast that resonate with you. Perhaps take a pause before you start to drive, hit the keyboard, or enter your workplace. While there are no set rules, the more you practice mindfulness meditation, the more profound and lasting the benefits will be. In the first few months, it's often recommended to aim for 10 to 15 minutes 4 times a week as you build up to that daily practice. However, even just a few minutes a day can start to steer your thoughts and responses in a mindful direction. Cultivating mindfulness helps you to take situations less personally and to leave the often concocted dramas of the moment to one side. In the workplace, you might find yourself becoming less attached to particular outcomes, more balanced in your responses, and better able to add value to the resolution of problems that arise. In practical terms, you may decide to leave the room rather than explode with anger, save an email to draft rather than fire it off, or have a conversation with a colleague the following day rather than share your strong views immediately. While we can't control the rise and fall of our emotions, we can start to learn to modify our responses, and that's where mindfulness comes in. Before I end this session, I want to say something about the wandering mind and how normal it is for the mind to wander when you meditate. During the course of the day, the mind moves quickly into doing mode. For example, thinking, planning, or worrying, skipping from one thought to another. It's often unsettled, restless, and indecisive. Within seconds, you might find yourself flitting between worrying about a work deadline, to planning your child's birthday party, to regretting an argument with a friend, to wishing you lived somewhere else with someone else. A day of mind wandering can leave you feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and somewhat depleted, often with no evident solutions in sight. Mindfulness meditation helps to steady the mind and helps it to stray less often. Researchers at the University of California have found that even an 8-minute instruction of mindfulness lessens the extent to which the mind wanders. The same researchers also found that just 2 weeks of mindfulness training improved concentration and working memory. So if you find yourself getting frustrated or even angry when your mind starts to wander, reassure yourself that it's perfectly normal. As your ability to concentrate strengthens, your wandering thoughts will reduce in number. See if you can allow the thoughts or sensations that do arise to pass as quickly as they appeared, and simply begin again by following one breath and then another. No judgment or criticism, just an acknowledgement of your experience as it is.